Welcome into the UTRGV Coaches Show. I'm your host, KJ Doyle, joining you after a thriller of a matchup, one of the games of the year in the Southland Conference. UTRGV falls in a down-to-the-wire classic against Incarnate Word, 23-21 at the final. We're joined, as always, on the Sunday after the game by the head coach of the Vaqueros, Travis Bush. Coach Bush, thanks so much for joining us, taking the trip back from Beaumont to be here today. Obviously, we mentioned your team put up one heck of a fight against a ranked opponent on the road in Beaumont. What were your big takeaways from the matchup?
That's the biggest. It's just so proud of this group. Just every week, we talked before the game yesterday. I'm falling in love with this team more and more each week. And in reality, in football or any sport, this exact team is only together 1 year, and just trying to enjoy every minute and make the most of the time we have left. But just so proud of the standard they're setting here, the fight, the competitiveness, all the things we work on and build daily, the toughness. You saw that going on the road. I mean, if you were there and watched it, you saw the size difference and the maturity difference, and that's a good football team, top 20 team in the country, and guys didn't flinch. They went toe-to-toe. Really just even the way the things were going early in the game, you could hear them, just positive, just talking about getting in the fourth quarter, getting in range in the fourth quarter, talk about winning the fourth quarter, and they did, and found a way to get back, get in the mix, go toe-to-toe, take the lead there. But then, in the end, boils down to experience, credit, 57-yard field goal with the game on the line. You got to give Lamar credit and give that young man credit for finishing it off, and they've done that week in, week out. They found a way to win, and like we said that last night, that just goes back to experience and maturity. We've been playing football 7 weeks. This is our 7th ball game in program history, and to go play a veteran team like that and have a chance to be down the wire. There's so many positives to take from it, but definitely as a competitor, you play every game to win, and our guys felt like we could have won that, and but definitely things to learn from, things to build on, and we can continue to grow and get better every week.
I mean, you guys are getting a lot of credit nationally and locally for the performance you guys were able to put on, go on the road against a team ranked 18th in the country in FCS and play them down to the wire like you were able to. Does that mean something to you to be able to get that credit, or is it kind of a situation where at this point, middle of the season, you don't look as much at the silver lining part of things?
No, every week, where we're at, every week's a learning process, a growing process. But just, again, for that confidence to know that, even though we're new, the things we're doing, we can go toe-to-toe with these teams, we compete with these teams. Now, we don't have much room for error. We didn't play very good in one phase of the ball game, but you saw other units step up, and that, talk about good, teams, and good teams do that, and you see that across the country. If one unit's not performing, then other units step up, and that's what you saw last night. You saw guys stepping up on defense. Defenses continue to play great, which is going to give you a chance. Special teams stepped up. We made some plays there, and so a lot of that you can see. Again, we're just building, setting a foundation, setting a standard for UTRGV football that we can continue to build on rest of this season and in the future.
And talk about the early part of this game. You guys get in that 17-0 hole, and you guys were able to climb your way out of it. How were you guys able to come back in this one?
It boils down to, I think, defense, obviously defense holding them and getting stops and really just got in a hole. It didn't play well offensively, and they're a very good defense, and good defenses can make it look bad at times, but when you look back at the film, we made too many mistakes that weren't characteristic of us at every position. Came out second half, it was a game of field position. There were just some decisions we made to, instead of going for it, there was a time there at the end of the third quarter, analytics say go for it. We're actually going to go for it. Then we called timeout and decided to punt, and Nathan did a great job punting them down the 3-yard line. We get a turnover. So those things go into those decisions sometimes. Those analytics don't tell you how the game's going. So the gut feeling there, we weren't moving the ball offensively. We're playing good defensively. Felt like we could punt them down and try to keep playing the field position game. Worked out, got a turnover, and made it 2014. Come back and do the same thing. We get one on punt, and then able to take the lead there. So again, hats off to those units to getting us the football in the red zone, and then offense punching it in. There. I mean, we still had some chances there in the fourth quarter to finish the game out and get some first downs.
Was there a message you had for the team on the sidelines at that point when you were trailing, or a message maybe one of the players, one of the leaders on defense or offense had that you feel like got the team kind of back in the groove?
Always, it's that fourth quarter mentality. Just get to the fourth quarter in range, and for to be in range, we're just if it's a 2-score game, you feel like you got enough time, you got a chance, and that was the mentality. You can hear that was the message at halftime, and then the third quarter, and then once we were able to again, get there right at the start of the fourth quarter, get within one score. I mean, you could just see the kickoff team goes and pins them, and everyone's just the momentum because they had that confidence. Hey, if we can just get to the fourth quarter in range, we've won the fourth quarter every week of the season. Guys buy into that. Things we're doing in the weight room and practice, and going harder for longer. So we, and they did. We just, again, hats off to them. They made one more play than we did there in the fourth quarter. But proud of our guys of just hanging in there the way things were not going right. The toughness, the mentality, competitiveness to just keep fighting, keep swinging, one drive, one play at a time, and get within range. And you saw that there, and just, again, it breaks my heart because, I think I could have done, I know I could have done things a lot better, but to see them play their tails off, I'm so proud of what they're doing and the standard they're setting.
And you talk about how much better they're getting every week and how much they're showing you, showing everybody about what they're capable of. But what about their confidence level? I mean, going in and competing against a team like that and, picking up the win against Houston Christian, I imagine it's also doing a lot for proving to themselves what they're capable of.
Yeah, and also it proves how tough this conference is, and it's every single week. And it's going to be next week again. It's going to be the next 5 weeks. Every team can beat anybody, but you've got to be ready to play. You've got to limit mistakes. You've got to play tough, physical football, and that's what I love. The Southland, it's a tough, fast, physical brand of football, and you can see our young men are right there in the mix. But again, the confidence that we can we can play right now. We can play at this level, but also the realization that we got to play well, and we can't make mistakes, and we've got to be ready to play and match that speed and physicalness week in, week out.
Well, one of the big difference makers in this game was special teams, and particularly on the Lamar side of things, Ben Woodard, who just you talk about 2 50-yard kicks, including the game-winning field goal that you just mentioned, a real weapon for Lamar on special teams in this conference, and the 57-yarder to win it. Very impressive kick from him.
Yeah, I mean, that's football. That's competitive excellence. We talk about that and being your best when your best is needed. And that young man to put that thing through there with that pressure, and made it. It wasn't close. He drilled it right in the middle, and they found a way. 5 of their 6 wins have been in the last possession of the game. But it goes to their credit, just that belief. Same thing on their end. They believe that they're going to find a way to get it done, and that's what good teams do. And a good lesson for us to learn as well. Good lesson there. We had opportunities there in the fourth quarter. We could have got first downs and not given them the ball back. We did have the ball last, so there's still some things that we could have done. But in a game like that, people always look to the last drive, the last play. There were so many things in the first 3 quarters that we had opportunities to not even be in that scenario. But again, good teams are going to find a way, and we're playing good football teams. That was a real good football team, and they'll have a chance to go win this conference. They got some tough games ahead as well. But again, I'm just proud of the way our guys are playing and the confidence that they're building.
Yeah, and even so, as you mentioned, the other plays in that game that could have made a difference. But being in that spot, I imagine on the sideline, someone again told you going into the game and said, you're going to be sitting there, 1-point lead. Lamar's going to have a 57-yard field goal late in the fourth. You basically feel like 57-yard field goal, coin flip at that point. You take those results and live with the result. And sitting on the sideline, got to be feeling like, hey, our defense was able to hold them here. They're going to have to kick a 57-yarder if they want to win this game, and we'll live with whatever happens. Yeah,
and really, I mean, worst statistically offensive output we've had, and did play well offensively. And we got to look at some things there. Across the board, you may see some. We got to look at some things that we're doing, teaching, but. Maybe even some personnel. You might see some other guys roll in at some positions next week. But, but again, the way the team had each other's back. And, again, when one unit's struggling, the other unit step up. So just proud of those young men for buying into that. And they're really showcasing that last night. And then the evidence to show that, hey, you can still happen. If one unit's struggling, other units can step up. You still got a chance to win. But, yeah, to say that you're not even going to have 200 yards of total offense and you're going to have a chance to beat the number 8 team in the nation, but again, shows you the fight of our young men.
All right, Coach Bush. Well, when we come back, we're going to take a closer look at the fourth quarter. Some big plays being made for both teams. We'll watch that when we return on the UTRGV Coaches Show. Welcome back into the UTRGV Coaches Show, joined by the head coach of the UTRGV Vaqueros football team, Travis Bush. Coach, let's talk about that fourth quarter. Punting away early in the fourth, and the muffed punt happens that really creates a huge swing in this game at that point.
Yeah, without a doubt. And then, 2 decisions there to punt. You kind of get aggressive, and then, again, analytics say go for it. But, you're playing good defense. You're not really moving the ball offensively, and that's the goal right there is to keep playing the field position game. But, good effort. The punt team worked hard on getting down. They had a great returner who's returned some returns, gave us a chance to get that ball in the red zone and then punch it in to take the lead there in the fourth.
And then obviously that sets the team up just outside the red zone, and you guys run a couple of nice run plays to Nathan Denny, and that kind of sets up this RPO. We're going to take a look at the field level version of this, and then we'll take a look at the broadcast view, take a look at how you guys were able to set up this Nolan team.
Yeah, it's just running, kind of got down in there and started running some counters, and good read there by Eddie, and Xavion got open there and got him there in the back of the end zone, and tied the game up and was able to take the lead.
And then break this down for us a little, because we mentioned RPO here, and it looks like you guys were able to give Eddie the option here to either hand it off or find Nolan. He makes the read on this play.
Yeah, really I cluing that safety right here at the corner there underneath Xavion, and he's unblocked. So if he comes down to make the play, we have the option to pull it and throw it right over his head. Great read, good route by Xavion, and good execution of a play there for us.
And we're going to take a look later in the fourth, after the field goal we took a look at earlier. You guys do get the ball back, have a chance to go down the field yourselves and try to get into field goal range. Eddie and the receivers just unable to connect on some plays they were trying to make deep down the field.
Yeah, and that's the tough. You're in a tough. Your back's completely up against the wall there. They know what you're doing. They got everybody back in coverage. They're getting good pass rush. We did good job, converted a fourth down there on the first set of downs. And executed a kill call, and then had a chance to get some guys there, and a great play for them to knock down a pass there. Broke it up there at the end with Tony, and then third down we throw an interception. Again, just scrambling, try to force it in there. Again, lesson we get in those situations, and some things we'll look at. And first time we're in that situation this season, so you learn through experience, and to be in those. And next time we're in that situation, we'll be better.
All right, well, when we return here on the UTRGV Coaches Show, UTRGV trailing 17-0 on the road against number 18 ranked Lamar. We take a look at some of the plays that got them back in it when we return. We're back on the UTRGV Coaches Show with the head coach of the Vaqueros, Travis Bush. Coach, you mentioned your offense, not the best day for them, but they were able to get set up with some short fields, take advantage when they needed to. Nathan Denny, we're going to take a look at his touchdown here. He steps back in after missing the game against Houston Christian, conference game there. Steps back in here, gets you guys some good yardage, able to get you the touchdown here, but obviously one of your better offensive players. Must be good to have him back.
Yeah, Denny, he's such a tough competitor, great leader for us. He's our energy guy on offense, and that was a good drive there. In the second quarter, went down 17-0. They put a good drive together, went down the field about 75 yards, and actually punched that in there right before the half, and kind of got some momentum. Again, a lot of putting it in the hands of Denny. They did a good job stopping the run. They had a great defensive line, but definitely still. Didn't play our best up front, but Denny's he found a way to get in there, break some tackles, but heck of a tough player for us. And as long as he stays healthy, he'll be good for us.
Well, that was obviously a much-needed score heading into the half, and then you guys were able to get the second touchdown from Tavian Cord. Again, we're going to take a look at the down on the field view first, and then take a look at the broadcast view. But a nice play design in order to get him open and get the touchdown.
Definitely, and he kind of made his own little adjustment there. Route was different, but he saw the opening. They didn't do what we expected, and he found a way to get to the corner. Good job by Eddie getting out there and finding him, and that was crucial because it was we would have kicked the field goal there. It was 20-7 at that point, and early in the fourth we still would have kicked the field goal to take the points, but got motion into a cluster. Their man coverage, so again trying to create picks and get some guys free since they're in man. It was able to happen there for Tavian. They kind of lost him there through the traffic, and was able to get to the back of the corner.
All right, well, some nice plays from your offense, as you mentioned. Not the best day from them, but they're able to convert when they get down to the red zone. And that's one of the biggest things when it comes to games like this is you could have 400 yards of offense, but if you don't convert in the red zone, you're not going to be in it late.
Exactly. We talk about that. The keys to winning. Our plan to win is play great defense, and you've got to win the special team battle and score in the red zone, and we got to do better on third down. There's third down conversions there on both sides, and that's always a telling tale because you're converting third downs, you're extending drives, you're moving the football, and then if you're getting off the field on third down, you're eliminating drives. But always going to be a key point for us. But again, yes, they did get the ball. They executed well when we had to put those points on the board. So credit to them in those situations.
The defense did some great things in this one as well to get you guys back in it. We're going to give them some credit. Take a look at some big plays on the defensive side and on special teams when we come back on the UTRGV Coaches Show. Welcome back into the UTRGV Coaches Show. Coach Bush, the defense made some big plays to keep this Lamar offense at bay in the second half and hold them scoreless on a number of drives. We're going to show a few of them here. One of the big ones, the T.J. Neal interception off the tip drill.
Yeah, again, hats off. Our defense, Coach Gamma, whole defense staff does a phenomenal job. And, again, just, trying to get some pressure there, surrounding the football. T.J. did a good job being in the right place at the right time. And yeah, that was a crucial point in the third quarter, again, coming out and trying to spark the offense, give us some momentum, give us some field position, and great job there. Again, this is again late in the third. They could have had a chance. They're trying to go extend the lead, but defense was keeping us in that ball game as long as they could. And credit to them setting up a field position there.
And that point, I mean, defense playing some great coverage on the back end. It's 3rd and long, so they have to throw, and the defense does a nice job, keeping great coverage again, and then obviously TJ making the play off the tip, not an easy but great instincts from him to get the interception. No doubt. I also want to give some credit to your punter here. We rarely talk about punting here on the Coaches Show, but Nathaniel Wallace-Dilling, this big punt to pin Lamar's offense back, and you rarely see a punt die like this on the 3-yard line, but at any level.
He pulled out the gap wedge on that one. He was actually working on that all week, and I even asked him Thursday. I said, "Are you supposed to be spinning it that way?" And he's that's what he's anticipating, gets that backspin when it hits. But again, a crucial point, good decision. I mean, good execution there. The decision came because we were playing good defense, and he was he has that ability to stick that thing there. Had missed one earlier and knocked it in the end zone, but again, good job by our net getting down, punt team, and getting that, and that set up the turnover, which got us the first touchdown there in the fourth quarter.
And that's pretty much as perfect as you can see a punt
be.
I mean, just
that's exactly what you want.
He was right within a yard.
He's done a heck of a job for us. You don't like to use him 8 times in a ball game, but he was effective when you do use him like that. You want him to be effective. Switch the field. It's a field position game, and he did a great job. And he, as much as anybody, gave us a chance there to win in the fourth quarter.
And the play like that sets up plays for your defense to make. You don't know if it's going to be a safety or a big turnover. In this case, it was a big turnover. Jackson Wade able to hit the running back in the hole and ultimately force this fumble out to set your offense up with, again, another short field.
Yeah, and that's the mentality. You got a pin now. Hey, let's go try to get a safety. You try to get a turnover. Worst case scenario, you hold them, and they now they're punting against the wind, and you get into good field position again. But great execution there. Again, you could just see the belief in the team, the belief in the defense. When they went out there with a short field and definitely came up with a huge play. They actually reviewed it, and they actually marked it down. The referee called them down, and we challenged the call, and they overturned it. And again, great job by our defense.
And I do want to give one more guy some credit on the defense. We didn't see any plays from him, but Haygood, he's been one of the defensive leaders for you guys all season long. And leading tackler in this game, made a lot of big plays. He's
phenomenal. He is, and he's just continues to get better. Redshirt freshman for us, again, one of the original crew, and he's just a great leader, great team player. He's on special teams. He does everything. Love his mentality. He's an example of everything we're trying to build here from a standard standpoint. But just every day, love. Just the effort, the smile, the energy. He's always positive, and just a phenomenal young man for us. And can't wait to see him grow in the future.
When we come back, it's time to look ahead for UTRGV, returning home to Edinburgh for their next matchup at Robert and Janet Vaqueros Stadium. We'll take a look at that one when we come back here on the UTRGV Coaches Show. Welcome back into the UTRGV Coaches Show, wrapping things up with head coach of the Vaqueros football team, Travis Bush. Coach, another Cardinals team coming in, Incarnate Word, playing in Edinburgh. They were a team that was expected to be near the top of this conference. Rocky start to them to conference play, 0-3 so far, but I imagine doesn't mean you're going to take them anymore lightly.
No, not at all. Don't let the record fool you. That's the defending Southland Conference champion, and they're one of the top teams in the conference. They played a very tough non-conference schedule, but opened up 0 week with Nichols, and that was a one-score game there early on. And they played SFA, who's another undefeated team in the conference, and then got beat in the last 30 seconds. Last night against East Texas, 52-45, and East Texas is playing good football. You look back 2 weeks ago or last week, they should have beaten, had Lamar beat, and so East Texas is one that's really playing some good football right now. But don't let the record fool you. Incarnate Word will be one of the toughest teams in this conference. They're explosive, they can score points, and defensively they've been really good. We'll have to look at that film and see how East Texas put so many points on them. But again, it's going to be a good battle. But excited to be in the comforts of Vaquer Stadium. Our guys are always fired up. The crowd's good. It's really a home field advantage for it. So again, we're excited and looking forward to the first fall homecoming here in UTRGV history.
What you really talked about there, it speaks to just how difficult this conference is going to be, no matter who you face. And you've said it all season, but I think Incarnate Word's record to this point proves it, that any game can go any type of way. Everybody can be competitive in this conference, and we'll see what happens on Saturday in Edinburgh.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we'll be excited. We'll appreciate you, and then always grateful for you guys.
All right, thanks, Coach Bush, so much for joining us once again on the UTRGV Coaches Show, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time after UTRGV's matchup against Incarnate Word.